So here's something funny that happened to me recently. My mom was trying to take a photograph of me, and she said, the sun is in the wrong place. And I said, I'm pretty sure it's where it's supposed to be. This is such a good example of how the ego mind system works, how we think everything should revolve around us and our wants and our needs and our beliefs, instead of accepting what is actually happening in the world, in nature, in our lives. The ego wants to control everything, but spirit says everything is fine just the way that it is. The sun is in the sky where it's supposed to be. And it's not for us to decide how to rearrange these things. These are not our responsibility. As Byron Katie likes to say, there are three lanes. My lane, the things that I'm in control of, other people's business, my business, other people's business, which they are in control of and I am not in control of, and God's business, which is where the sun is supposed to be, what nature is supposed to be doing, what animals are supposed to be doing. We're not in charge of those things, and we know it. And yet the ego likes to think that it has enough power to reign over the universe and control things. So letting go of that is a secret to happiness. My friends, letting go of that crazy egoic belief that we need to make things happen a certain way is the secret. But I want to talk a little bit about the difference between acceptance, allowing and accepting things to be exactly the way they are, and just tolerating things, because these are two different energies. So acceptance is a beautiful energy that comes from love. It comes from me being me and you being you, God's in his heaven, and all's right with the world. Nothing is forced. There's nothing forced about acceptance. But tolerance, tolerating things, is a different kind of energy, because it implies that I would like for things to be different from how they are, but I'm going to put up with them the way they are. And this energy will keep you stuck and keep you in resistance. That energy needs to either be dissolved, let go, or shifted over into an energy of acceptance in order for us to move forward with our lives. So when we are resisting things, we get stuck. We know that. What you resist persists, as Carl Jung said so famously, the psychoanalyst. What you push against pushes back against you. And then you end up in a place of being stuck and not being able to move. But then there are two other energies. One is an energy of fear, of like, I'm not going to look at that. I'm going to pretend it's not there. I don't want to deal with that. And that's egoic. And then there's an energy of love, of relaxing into what is, allowing things to be the way they are, allowing people to be the way they are, knowing and trusting that divine infinite intelligence is unfolding in the way that it's meant to unfold. And we are just a small part of that big plan. We are just a cog in the wheel, a part of the process, but a needed, necessary, and important part. Just because you're a small part doesn't mean you're an insignificant part. So look at the places in your life where you want things to be different and ask yourself, do I want things to change because there's rejection, because there's judgment, because there's disapproval? Or do I want things to change because I know that shifting out of this stuck, putting up with, tolerating energy can put me into a place of acceptance, peace, love, and joy? These are very subtle things, I know, but they're so worth looking at, because these little shifts in the way that you think, in the way that you perceive things, and then the way that you embody things can completely change your life. completely change your life. I know what I'm talking about because it happened for me, and it's still happening for me. It happens to me on a regular basis. I have learned now to tune in to what feels relaxed, happy, joyful, and stay there and notice when I get pulled out of there, what wants to pull me out of there. Is it somebody that I'm interacting with? Is it something on the news? Is it something in social media? And catch myself and say, oh, I don't want to be icky again. I don't want to feel weird again. I don't want to be caught up in the drama again, and pull it back in, rein it back in. Tell yourself, this is not a good use of my time. This is not a good use of my energy. I could be doing something delightful that lifts me up and that lifts other people up. So that is my spiel on the difference between tolerating something and accepting something, pushing against and allowing, fighting and resisting, loving and embracing. I'm Teresa McGallagher, and I love you. Drop me a question if you have one and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.